friends, I'm going to show you some easy steps on how to make a nice shabby chic tassel, and then I will show you the tassels that we made this week. First, cut or tear your fabric or ribbon. Second, layer them however you'd like. Third, slide a piece of fabric underneath the center of your pile. 4, tie that piece of ribbon in a very tight double knot. 5, tie your two ends together, forming a loop. 6, slide another piece of fabric about an inch or so down. 7, tie that in a tight double knot. Now it is ready to be embellished. This is one that I created this week as a gift for someone special, and it has some unicorn charms on it and some satin ribbon and a flower in the center. Friends, I am getting ready to wrap up a tassel for a happy mail, but I thought I wanted to show it to you first. So I've got a little O-ring here at the top for them to hang it probably on a journal, because this person's a journal maker. So I've got the blue and white fabric that was gifted to me from Robbie and Tina. So thank you, Robbie and Tina. And then I made some charms. So here's some clear charms, and they look a little bit like snowflakes. So I put them on eye pins and added some beads above and below them. And then I attached 3 glass beads on this nice yarn. And then I used a vintage handkerchief also for some material. Then I have some shiny, like that opalescent look ribbon in it. And then I have some wider, this is probably about a ½ an inch, white ribbon throughout. And there's just a little bit of this darker blue and white gingham. And I just thought, just to add a little dimension, so there's a little bit of that through there. And lastly, I believe it's called seam binding. This is vintage, and this was gifted to me from Ivy Baum. Thank you, Ivy. So this is our little tassel that I'm going to be giving away in a happy mail. Hi friends, so I wanted to show you some of the tassels that I made for Tassel Tuesday. And so the first one that we're going to start with is this fun tropical Christmas tassel, and it's got, you guys have seen, I used this fabric in a couple of my other tassels, and this one is different though because I used different ribbons. So I've got a blue ribbon with some stripes on it, and then I used this red ribbon, but this red ribbon almost has some like fuchsia in it, and so it goes really good with the flamingos. And she's not real long, but she's nice and dense, so that's kind of fun. And so there's just a variety of ribbon throughout, and then I added some beads that I strung on the wires and whatnot. So there's silver and teal and a bright pink and a light pink, and so there's several strands you'll see of those. Next up, we have another Christmas tassel. It also has some of the flamingo fabric in it, but I have added a vintage handkerchief. It's almost got a maroon hint to it, but I feel like it goes really well with this fabric. And then with this one, I have added this bright green, and it has these tiny little candy canes, snowflakes, and peppermints on it. Right, so there's some of this ribbon in here too. And then again on this one, I did some beading, but I used, this is kind of red, but it also matches this. So I don't know, it's kind of an in-between color. So but we'll go with red, and then this nice light bright green, and then some clear beads as well. And then the center one has all silver and clear. And then this next one is red and silver and green. Most of the tassels shown today will be available in my Etsy shop if you're interested. This tassel is made from the blue and white Christmas fabric that I have, and this is the last of it. I don't have any more. And I also used, I don't know if you remember me from last week talking about this yarn that I got, but I call it our sweater yarn because it just reminds me of like a something you'd make a sweater out of or a scarf out of. And then in this one I also used a vintage hanky. So here's some of it here. It's just a nice white vintage hanky. And I cut and tore it because it had a certain pattern that really wouldn't tear through very well. So I did a combination of cutting and tearing. So to embellish this tassel, I used the blue beads, and I just received these from BB Craft, and you'll see that in my unboxing video. And then I used some clear beads, and in the center I used all silver and clear, and then on the other side I used the blue and silver pattern again. I will have our other Tassel Tuesday collaborators listed in my description box. If you have not checked them out yet, please go do that. You'll love their makes. This next tassel is a special order that I received. This is made from flannel, and I tore the fabric. It had this, obviously this black and red buffalo check pattern, and it had a little bit of silver going through it as well, like the silver thread. And so I tore this. I added the little snowman hat. This cutie will be traveling all the way to New York. I just listed this one to my shop. It is a spool tassel, and I turned the spool into a little table and have a bunch of little sewing elements on top of it. This is our last tassel for Tassel Tuesday, and this is created from some beautiful vintage fabric, and I added a key as the centerpiece. It's simple and yet elegant at the same time. Thanks for watching. See you soon.